Speciation. It is the process by which new distinct species evolve from existing ones. This typically occurs when populations of species become isolated from each other and evolve independently, eventually becoming so genetically different that they can no longer interbreed to produce fertile offspring. Reproductive isolation mechanisms in speciation are classified as either prezygotic or postzygotic. Prezygotic mechanisms include geographic isolation, temporal or seasonal isolation, gametic or mechanical isolation. But for now, we are going to focus on the two of the types, which are geographical and seasonal isolation. Geographic isolation occurs when a physical barrier separates a species, such as when rising sea levels separate plant species. One example of this is when a plant species is separated by the rising sea level, as shown in this picture. And with the crucial help of time, there will be genetic change or interbreed inability with one another. Temporal isolation involves separation in the timing of reproductive events, like the differing times of day or season when certain flowers bloom. One example of this is the Haltom study of Malaysian orchids in the 1950s. It revealed that 3 species of Dendrobium flowered for just a single day, but when triggered by specific weather events like sudden rainstorms, despite being closely related and capable of crossbreeding, the timing differences in their flowering period made fertilization impossible, since the flowers of one species are either already wilted or not yet matured when the others were in bloom. Moving on, we have postzygotic mechanisms which occur after fertilization, meaning that fertilization has already occurred, it's just that there may be a problem with the offspring that was formed. One example among different types of this is hybrid sterility in the swallowtail butterfly. Female hybrids inheriting the Z chromosome experience reproductive and physical challenges due to interactions of multiple genes across the Z chromosome, making it difficult for them to reproduce and resulting in health issues. Let's move on to the modes of speciation. We have 2, which are allopatric and sympatric. Allopatric isolation. Allopatric isolation occurs when populations of a species become geographically separated, leading to independent evolutionary changes and potential formation of new species. It's like squirrels on opposite sides of the Grand Canyons that developed into distinct species due to the physical barrier that prevented genetic interchange. To help understand, here's a video clip about the aberts and the kaibabs.
Groups. They became known as the kaibabs and the aberts. The kaibabs have black bellies, while the aberts have white. The aberts got their white bellies from when the snow started forming on their side, so to keep safe from predators, they adapted to the white environment to blend in. Kaibabs also had to adapt to the new environment, for their environment has changed as well. Human air pollution has caused trees to darken, forcing the squirrels to change color, so they would be less noticeable by prey.
Next, we have sympatric isolation. Sympatric isolation, on the other hand, occurs when populations diverge into separate species without being geographically isolated. One of the best examples that we have on sympatric isolation or mechanisms are the cichlids. Cichlid fish in Lake Malawi evolve into different species while living together in the same place. This happens because they find different ways to survive in the lake, like eating different foods or living in different parts of the water. Because they live differently, they don't mate with each other, which creates new types of cichlid fish. So, even though they're all in the same lake, they become different from each other over time. Well, that is all for this video. Till next time.